Good evening. This is CTV News for Monday, January 30th. I'm Patricia Vallone.
And I'm Byron Scott. Glad to have you with us tonight. Well, the ex-teacher's aide at the center of a child sex abuse investigation in Prince George's County reaches a plea agreement on the federal charges against him.
And Michelle Metzger was at the U.S. District Courthouse in Greenbelt for the hearing and is joining us here now.
Deontay Caraway and family members of children he had contact with were in the courtroom as prosecutors read each count. The details which are too graphic for us to say here on the show. But at the end, Deontay Caraway entered a guilty plea to 15 counts of sexual exploitation of a minor to produce child pornography, involving 12 children ages ranging from 9 to 13, including one victim with special needs. The wide-reaching case against Caraway involves at least 23 potential victims, 11 that have been identified in an ongoing state case, and 12 that are identified in the federal case. In the plea agreement, Caraway admits to abusing children between October 2015 and February 2016, using his position as an assistant and volunteer at Judge Sylvania Woods Elementary School in Glenarden and as a choir director to coerce the victims. The 23-year-old admits to founding a club, and to join, kids had to send him sexual photos of themselves. Caraway provided victims with phones to record sex acts, which were sent over messenger apps. He also admits to communicating with victims over Skype and internet chat applications. Prosecutors say more than 50 images and videos were found on his two personal phones.
The defendant has admitted to abusing 12 victims, and those include victims with whom the defendant personally engaged in sex, victims the defendant caused to engage in sex with other children, and children who sent the defendant videos or pictures of themselves naked. And one of the important things we do in these cases, we want to protect other victims from being abused. We want to make sure we hold the defendant accountable, but our top priority is to protect the victims and try to minimize any additional trauma to them. So the consequence of this plea today is that those children will not be required to testify in federal court. They can go on with their recoveries.
Caraway faces 60 to 100 years in federal prison. Sentencing is scheduled for June 5th. As we mentioned, related charges filed in Prince George's County Circuit Court are still pending.
This is so tragic.
Definitely. Now, the U.S. Attorney said there are several lessons to be learned here for parents. Some of the places where Caraway admits to abusing children include school grounds and private homes, including victims' bedrooms. He said parents should take 3 important lessons from this. It's critical to know who your kids are with, whether they're adults, whether they're children, whether they're in a safe place like school or choir practice. Know who they're spending time with, know what they're doing during this time, and ask for details. And third, make sure that you're monitoring their cell phones and their social media, know all their passwords to their accounts, and scroll through photos with them. So if you see something questionable, you can ask them about it right then.
All right. Well, thank you, Rochelle. And you are watching CTV News. I'm Patricia Vallone.
And I'm Byron Scott.